Hello friends, my name is Sriparna and I work with Child Protection Resource Center, a joint initiative between Center for Economic and Social Studies CESS and UNICEF Hyderabad office. Today I'll be talking about menstrual health and hygiene for girls and women, as many of us have very less knowledge about personal hygiene practices during menstruation. As our country is in lockdown due to COVID-19 virus, let us first start with whether this COVID-19 virus has any correlation with our menstruation cycle or not. First, let us be very clear that it doesn't have any correlation with our cycle or period. So, if you are having your cycle for the first time during this lockdown, or there are certain irregularities between your cycle, please don't be afraid. Your reproductive hormone controls your menstruation cycle, and I repeat, it doesn't have any correlation with the virus. There are few common symptoms during menstruation like abdominal pain, abdominal swelling, mood swings, headache, lower body pain, flushing, etc. These symptoms can be managed easily at your home. So, how to manage these symptoms? So, you can take warm water bath to manage your pain, and also you can use hot water bag in the pain area or massage in the lower abdomen to control or to reduce the pain, and take adequate rest if you are having pain. But most importantly, eat healthy food and drink up plenty of water. So now we'll be talking about what to use during menstruation or how to manage the menstrual flow. It is generally advised by the doctor to use disposable sanitary pad which is meant for single use. So these kind of disposable sanitary pad can be used under our underwear. So this can be opened like this and can be placed in our underwear. But during the lockdown, you may not have access of such pad, or there is no availability. So in that time, you can prepare reusable cotton pads which is made of cotton cloths. So we can take a piece of cotton cloth like this, fold it 3 or 4 times or maybe more depending on what kind of thickness you want, and the side of the cloth like this can be stitched, and it looks like a sanitary pad which is reusable, and we can make it very easily at our home. But it is very important to use a clean cloth, and this cloth can be reused as I said, but it has to be washed thoroughly with detergent and dried it properly. And after drying it properly, you can store it in a clean, dry place. But please remember, do not share this disposable sanitary pad with anyone. I repeat, do not share it with anyone. And please remember to wash and clean it after every use. After multiple use, you can dispose of the cotton pad. And if it is also not possible, in that case you can use a single piece of clean cloth like this in this emergency situation, and it can used like this in the underwear. But it has to be disinfected in the boiling water, and it should not be reused since it's a single piece. It should not be reused, and it has to be disposed of properly. The next question may come into our mind, that how to maintain hygiene during menstrual cycle. So there are few points which we will be discussing, like take bath at least once in a day. It is very important that we clean our body, or we keep our body very clean during our cycle. So you need to take bath at least once. So there are certain myths like you cannot use shampoo or cannot wash your hair during your period. Those are myths. Please do not follow it. If you want to maintain your personal hygiene, you have to take bath at least once in a day. And washing the genital area, is also very important. Remember to wash it every time with water whenever you are using the toilet or changing your pad. Do not wash inside the vagina. It is very important to remember, do not wash inside the vagina. Do not use any soap or shampoo to clean your vagina from inside, and keep the area between two legs dry, and also use clean underwears or panty, and wash it regularly on a daily basis. And changing of pads is also very important. So you can change your pad depending on your menstrual flow. You may need to change your pad within an interval of 4 or 5 hours or maybe less. But it is important to change your pad. And please remember, it is very important to follow these hygiene practices during our menstruation. Using unclean pad or cloth can lead to growth of unwanted bacteria that could lead to infection, which is not good for our body. It is harmful. And especially in this situation, we will also not have access to a doctor all the time. We may not have. So it is always better to follow the personal hygiene practices and be safe. And if your bleeding is excessive, like per day more than 3 pads become blood dripped, and the pain is excessive, like it is hindering your daily activities, or in a one word, it is unbearable, so in those cases you can definitely contact a nearby doctor. So, my request to all the parents of adolescent girls is, menstruation is completely a normal, natural process. Do not restrict the girls' in-house movement due to the cycle. Talk to your child normally, explain it to them, and share the right information. So, it is basically important to educate yourself with the right kind of information and then transfer the knowledge, the right information to your daughter or to your sister. Mood swings is very common during our cycle. So, providing emotional support by the family members plays a crucial role, and especially by the mother, it is very important. So, now we'll be talking about how to dispose a used sanitary pad or a cotton cloth. Sanitary pads should never be flushed down in the toilet or should not be thrown in the drain because it may block the water passage. So after use a disposable sanitary pad, you should wrap it in a newspaper or a waste paper and put it in a garbage bin. It is necessary to keep the garbage bin covered to prevent the foul smell spreading in your home. And if you are using a cotton cloth, you can follow the same process. And whenever your garbage collector is coming, you can give it to them. But during the lockdown, you may not have the garbage collector coming to your place on a regular basis. So in that case, you keep it in a plastic cover. After wrap it in a newspaper or a waste paper, keep it in a plastic paper, plastic bag, basically polythene bags, and seal it properly so that the foul smell doesn't come out. And you can give it to the garbage collector whenever he or she visiting your place, or you can throw it in your nearby proper dustbin. Okay, so now let us talk about menstrual myths. There are many myths surrounded by our menstruation. I'll just before also we have just talked about few of them. So menstruation was a mystery before, but now science has explained it. So it is a very natural process in a female's body. Earlier, lots of different ideas and beliefs are created to explain periods in ancient societies and culture. Many of the ideas and beliefs have been proven wrong by science now, but they are still followed in our current society. So, if we want to say like few examples, like menstruation is a disease or a curse, or a menstruating woman is impure, dirty, or sick, this is not at all correct. As I said earlier, that cycle or our periods are natural and normal, and the menstrual fluid or blood is not something which is very poisonous or toxic. It is just a harmless mixture of blood and tissue that was not used by your body to nourish a baby in the home. And a girl is who is having period is basically isolated in the family, which is also a wrong practice. Since this is a normal process, one should continue regular daily activities unless there is pain or very heavy bleeding. The girl can very well take part of all the activities, including the social functions and religious activities also. In many societies like us, girls are isolated. They are not allowed to sit on the bed, they are not allowed to sit on the sofa, they even not allowed to share the utensils. So during the 4 5 6 days in the month, they will eat in some separate utensils. Those are not at all correct. Okay, so we should know the myths and we should not practice all these. The another myth surrounding our menstruation is menstruating women should not take bath. As I just discussed, these myths maybe began during your earlier times. People used to take bath in ponds or open water bodies like river, lakes, etc. So that time there will be blood flow in the water, and there are other persons also who will be taking bath. Maybe because of that this myth came, but now we generally take bath in our private bathroom. Hence, there is no reason to follow the myth. Instead, it is advisable by the doctor to take regular bath at least once in a day to maintain your personal hygiene during menstruation. Another myth is that menstruation leads to a heavy blood loss, leading to anemia in the woman. Menstruation is in healthy women doesn't cause iron deficiency or anemia. Yes, blood loss is there, but blood loss during a period in a healthy woman is not more than 80 ml, which is around 3 tablespoons. In case the blood loss is more, like more than 80 ml, or previously I just said, if you are having 3 blood drip pad, then of course you should consult the doctor. So it is very important to get rid of these myths. The first step is getting rid of these myths is to talk about them. So this is not a taboo. Let us as a society, let us talk about this. It is good idea to ask if there is any scientific basis to what you are told about your menstruation or your period. So once you are aware and you are capable of separating a myth from a scientific fact, then you can also help others by giving the right information. So very soon, like 28th of May, it is a day of International Day for Menstrual Hygiene. So in this occasion, everyone, all of us should remember, if we follow the menstrual hygiene practices properly, it will lead to a healthy girl, a healthy woman, a healthy mother, and ultimately a healthy and happy society. So I will request to all of you, don't be scared, don't be afraid if you are having your cycle during this lockdown period. Manage it, don't be afraid, follow these practices which we just discussed. And since all of us in lockdown and everyone is at home, so I wish you all stay at home, stay safe, and also take care of other family members, especially the children and the elderly who are at your home. Namaste.